Muma, setting into Big Ten play, especially as a linebacker, one of the key positions in this defense. Kind of what's the mentality in the locker room going into Big Ten play? Is there kind of like an energy boost or something like that heading into Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you get an opportunity to play someone in your conference, and it's exciting. Big Ten play, it just means more. I think the guys are definitely excited. Definitely there's some transfers who haven't played in the Big Ten before, and I'm excited for them to get a taste of Big Ten football. Guys are really revved up, ready to go.
You're looking at a Purdue offense. I know it's similar to what you guys have been playing the first 3 weeks, but what does a guy like Card, who's maybe arm talent-wise one of the best quarterbacks we've seen so far, kind of add to their offense?
Yeah, I mean, he has the ability to throw deep, throw short. I think it'll be critical to keep him uncomfortable in the pocket, not let him run, and just be clean on our defense, on our side of the ball, and go out there and make some plays. So I'm excited to face him.
You guys have talked a lot about playing clean games. I mean, how close do you feel like you guys are to playing? I know there's not going to be a perfect game, but for you, I know last week you said you missed 4 tackles or something like that when we talked to you. How close do you feel like you guys are to playing a completely clean game or as clean of a game as possible?
Yeah, I mean, you're never a finished product, no matter what level you're at. And so I think this game is just another opportunity for the defense to improve in terms of our ability to play together and off of each other. Last week was really fun with the takeaways, and saying you're gonna have 6 takeaways every game is crazy, but to continue that trend of winning the turnover margin, we have certain goals every game. Checking those goals off as a defense, that's progress, that's growth, that's improvement. So to continue growing as a defense is just always the goal. Friday's another opportunity for that.
This might be a little bit cliche, but do you think you guys are still trying to find your identity, who you are as a defense, or do you think you have one? And if so, what do you think it is?
Yeah, I think every week over the course of the season, you have an opportunity to define who you are by how you play. I mean, going into our 4th game, it's almost a third of the season right there. I think we've shown ourselves as a team that we've been a second half team, which is really fun. Like last week, being able to put up a fight, come out with a win. But I think moving into this game, moving into the Big Ten play, we're going to come out faster, come out swinging, and then still be that second half team who has the final punch in the second half. Every week you get to define that.
Muma, last week, early on, it seemed like they got a first down off that pick play, and then you guys were able to foil it later on. What are some of the difficulties, kind of as a linebacker in a lot of man coverage schemes and things like that, and how have you guys been able to evolve?
Yeah, I think just knowing your tough duties is critical in every defense, and knowing how, because of the defense you're in, how they're going to try and attack you, and being able to anticipate that. And so that big play, I should have been able to anticipate that. I knew my responsibility. I knew the split of the wide receiver, and they tried to do it again later on, and I was able to be there. So it's just knowing the tough duties and knowing how to plan for those.
I think that's a fair play.
Sure, they ran it. So
I mean, he just ran right into you. It's like he didn't even pretend that he was trying to go around you, or trying to just get your way. He just ran right into you, didn't he?
I mean, you watched the game, so.
I had a question for you about Hunter. He was obviously coming off a great game. How has he been able to affect the defense, and what are the areas of growth that you think you've seen from him to get to this point?
Yeah, I think his energy, his enthusiasm, his leadership have all have been great additions to the team. And obviously, he's a playmaker. He's a dog. It's been really fun to watch him progress, coming in as a freshman, getting a lot of playing time early. They saw a lot of promise in him. And then last year, kind of a setback with his foot. I think he was out until about Maryland week, so about the first game to the 9th game, I think he was out. And then now having him back in full-time starting role this year, I'm so excited for him. I think you guys are just seeing the beginning of him. He's still growing, and he's still improving as a player. So he's been a great addition to the defense this year. I'm really proud of him as my boy, and obviously as my teammate too.
Friday night game this week. How does that change maybe any preparation? And then do you like that? Is that an exciting thing for you, or does it really make a difference?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a shorter turnaround, so that's hard. But I think the goal is Purdue has the same shorter turnaround. It's not like they're coming off the bye week. The whole goal is to use our time better than they're using their time.
Is it fair to say this is? I know the Washington State game was a big game, but this is the most important game of the season so far because it is the start of Big Ten play and maybe can show you guys what may be possible this season. Like, is that a fair way to look at it in some way?
Yeah, I mean, every game's the biggest game of the season when it's coming up. But start of Big Ten play. I think as a defense, we talked last year. Hey, this game's going to set. So last week going into week 3, this game's going to set us up, set our trajectory for the season. I think this game, week 4, is going to set our trajectory going into Big Ten play. So it's kind of my mindset every week. So I don't know if there's a narrative there.
You guys have been a strong rushing defense still, even with running the dollar, which is a different look for you. What are some of the challenges to stopping the run from a dollar where you don't have as many big bodies on the field?
There are no challenges.
Okay.
Just learning the last week or so, the big story in the NFL has been grass versus turf ever since Aaron Rodgers' injury. I'm just wondering,
I don't
all
have a
things
take
being
on
equal,
grass
you don't have any.
versus turf.
You don't have any preference one way.
No. I mean, there was a practice that was pretty warm here that we had in the fall camp, and we practiced on the turf. And it was, I don't want to say the H word, but it was there. It was there. And that would have been great to be on grass, but other than that, I don't really have a take. I think it's interesting, though, that people are looking into that. I think it's anything that's good for the betterment of the athlete, the health of the athlete. I'm all for it.
When you talked about the first half versus second half, slower first half, stronger second half, I know you want to get off to a stronger start, but what have you seen from the halftime preparation and adjustments from the coaching staff that have propelled you guys to play so well in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, I think our coaches' adjustments are there, but I think often in the second half when it really happens is, and the coaches make adjustments like that, don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, the players are the ones playing the game. I think often the talks have been in the last couple of second halves have been, hey, maybe that wasn't our standard. We know there's more. We have more in us. In all offseason, we're talking about being a finishing team, a team that finishes this and that. So it's almost as if the mentality kind of changes in the second half or in the locker room at halftime. Being able to capture that going into the game is going to be critical because we know we have it in us. So, yeah, that's a good question.
So, I heard you have a professor on the defensive line. He's got that nickname.
Benjamin Barton.
Yeah, just how is he? I mean, you were in the class before him, but just how have you seen him? I mean, he was an offensive lineman for 1 year during the 2020 year.
Yeah.
Progresses the defensive line. Then that spring of 21. Just how have you seen him transition and now make a point where you helped force a turnover? Going against Georgia Southern in Wisconsin territory last week.
Yeah, I mean, he's been. It's been fun to watch him grow, to be honest. Because when he came as a freshman, he was in the COVID class, so he didn't really get to know the kids that well until kind of going into the second year, and then we just didn't really cross paths as much. Just he was on the scout team, I was kind of on the other side of the field, although we were both on defense. But slowly been getting to know him. Met his fiance, they're engaged. Like he's gonna get married. Met his dog. Like he's just a cool guy. Great team player, interesting guy. Like he got invited to play basketball for the basketball team. You should ask him about that. He got invited to be a spring player. Yeah, serious. Because he's a really good basketball player. And, I guess they were short big men going into the spring of last year or 2 years ago. So they asked him to join the team at one point. You should ask him about it. Yeah, so just really random that wants to be a math professor. Just random things about him. But he's definitely dedicated to what we're trying to do here. Great guy. Love playing behind him.